Hi, welcome back to Aliens Space Education from Space for All Education. My name's Andy, your host of this amazing journey into the cosmos. Welcome to Season 2. Now, the season's going to go into a lot more depth and a lot more thing, and I'm going to respond to a few of the comments that have been given to me, and hopefully we keep going, and you really enjoy this. Please keep commenting, keep liking, keep sharing. Let's keep this going. I really enjoy making these podcasts, and I look forward to looking forward to reading your comments and everything like that, and hopefully creating some really great content in the future as well. So we're going to pick up where we left off on Season 1. We're looking now at the wider expanse from the solar system. Now, where we left it, at the edge of what is the Oort cloud, so the edge of the solar system, that huge area where it's like clouds of comets flying around. It's invisible, and we can't see these clouds, but they're there, and we know they're there, but we can't see them. It's theoretically there, but we're still lost on why it's there. So we're going to go now. We're going to go into the cosmos. We're going to go a little bit further afield. So let's start talking about what we know, or rather what we think we know about the Oort cloud. So we're going to start at the Oort cloud, and we're going to go a little bit beyond it. Okay, so if you remember a little bit about what we said before, I will recap that for you now. To picture where the Oort cloud lies, we have to zoom way out from the Earth. We pass Mars, there's gas giants, and even Pluto. We're going beyond Pluto, beyond the Kuiper Belt, which is even further, to a region filled with icy objects, comets, and dwarf planets. But we keep going at about 2,000 times the distance from Earth to the Sun, so 2,000 AU. Remember that? Astronomical units, Earth to the Sun. We're 2,000 times that distance until we reach the hypersized boundary of the Oort cloud. And this is truly vast region stretching out as far as 100,000 astronomical units, or AU again. And that's a staggering distance. So we've got to go 2,000 times AU to where we reach the edge of the Oort cloud. But the Oort cloud is 100,000 AU. Big. And remember, it's not just big as that. You've got to think this is all the way around like a giant cloud, a giant ball around the Earth, around our solar system. But it's huge, and it's full of icy rocks and everything like that. So what exactly is out there? The Oort cloud is thought to be a spherical shell surrounding our solar system, filled with icy objects and rocks. But here's the kicker. We've never actually observed it. It's invisible. We can see through it because we can see distant stars, planets, galaxies, and everything like that. But we can't find it. Everything we know about it comes from trajectories and long period comets and indirect measurements. Now, what this means is we're observing these comets. They go round, and you think they come down, they go round the sun, and they shoot back off. But what are they going round on the other side? How do these comets keep going back? Because they've got to be collecting ice and rock and dust from somewhere. And the theory is that they go into the Oort cloud and they collect the ice and the rock and the dust from other objects and then come back towards us. But they have to swing around something. They have to do something over here, and we don't know what it is. And that's how our theory started with all this. It's sort of, right, hang on, what's on the other side? We honestly don't know, and this is what we're trying to figure out. So we're measuring this as best we can. Sorry, excuse me. No, I thought I was going to sneeze. So we're looking at these different things, and we're hoping to find out more. But by observing comets and by observing the gas trails, the tails they leave behind, seeing what's filled inside and everything like that. Excuse me, I knew I was there. We learn more about what is on the outer edges of our solar system, this Oort cloud. Now, an astrophysicist might say the Oort cloud might be home to a lot of these objects, leftovers from the early solar system. So you think when the solar system started, it was the star that exploded. The star was born, a big explosion, and 99.86% of that mass was collected in the sun, but the rest of it was shot out, passed through the solar system, and some of that outer edge material is in this Oort cloud. We believe it contains trillions. We're not talking millions, we're not talking billions, we're talking trillions of icy bodies. And remember, the comets, we only see them when they come past us towards the sun. But what if they didn't come past us? Remember, Jupiter is really, really heavy. And what if they orbit Jupiter? And that's why we don't see them. So they could be orbiting or using a path that we don't recognize yet. Which is why we sometimes see comets that travel across our solar system once in 1,000 years. So they travel such long distances, it takes thousands and thousands of years before we see them again. So you can't say the sun's gravity is pulling it all the way here and then it's going to shoot it off. Over so many years, our gravity, the sun's gravity, will lose its effect on that and something else will be pulling it away from us. What is pulling it away from us and swinging it back around to come back to us? Yeah. Got you thinking there, haven't I? And then what if it doesn't, all comets don't just, the only ones we see are the ones that go towards the sun. But what if they go around other objects that we don't observe and we're still trying to learn about? Like, do comets orbit Jupiter? I don't know. That's a good question. It's an interesting one. Maybe we need to look at that in a little bit more detail. So, going back, the sun's gravity keeps these objects loosely bound, but they travel to the very edge of that gravitational influence. In fact, some of them might even be affected by gravitational pulls from other stars. So, other stars that we might not be able to see. They could be dark stars. And we've covered that briefly before, but I'll go into more detail in another podcast. So there could be things out there putting gravity pull on the other end. Or it could be Jupiter, or it could be other things that we don't know yet and we're still learning. So it's a lot to look into and a lot to think. So why is the Oort cloud so important? Why is this theory of this Oort cloud so important to us? Why do scientists care so much about this distant and mysterious part of space? There are a few compelling reasons. Firstly, understanding the Oort cloud can tell us a lot about the formation of our solar system, which helps us understand other solar systems. Most of these objects in the Oort cloud are thought to have been scattered outward by the gravitational influence of gas giants like Jupiter and Saturn. So remember I said Jupiter and Saturn before? They could have a thing there. This means they're ancient. They're frozen relics from a time when the solar system was forming about over 4 billion years ago. So they could give us the early components of life, maybe even give us other things that we haven't considered about the formation of our solar system and the formation of life. So it's really important we study these objects and we find out what's out there. Another reason is the role of the Oort cloud is supplying long periods comets. These comets are essential cosmic time capsules, bringing us material from solar system's distant past. And when the comets approach the sun, it heats up, creating a beautiful tail we can see. But for scientists like us, it's even more exciting because it allows us to analyze the composition of the early solar system. So these tails from comets, it's ice that's melting and it's going to release elements or other things that we can analyze through different cameras and look at it. Oh, that's got something new we haven't seen before. Cool. Now, where did that come from? Or did it come from inside the comet from 4 billion years ago? Did it pick it up from the Oort cloud? Or was there something else that comet ran into to give it that material? and now it's just come loose. Oh, now we see it. So comets are a mystery, but they get you thinking, don't they? They're cool. So we've got to keep studying them. Furthermore, there's also a possibility that studying the Oort cloud could give us clues about other star systems. Many scientists believe that the Oort cloud isn't unique to our solar system, and other stars like our own have versions of an Oort cloud. And understanding our own Oort cloud could help us learn more about other planetary systems, formation of planets, and potentially life on other systems. So it's really, really important we do study these things. Really important we understand the early solar system, the early birth of our sun, and what it brought. Remember, the dinosaurs were wiped out by a giant asteroid, and they didn't have the defenses to protect themselves. We do have processes now that could potentially help us. We're not 100% sure they're going to work, but they are there. But what sends these asteroids on a trajectory path towards us? And how can we avoid them? And if we know the asteroid there is where they come from and what sends them this way, that will help us understand them better and protect the Earth better. Again, it all comes from studying and understanding so-called Oort cloud. It is hugely important, even though it is a giant cloud we can't see. So it's really, really important we do study these things. So what lies beyond the Oort cloud? Now we've talked about it, but what lies beyond it? Well, we've talked about the Oort cloud, but let's go a little bit further. What lies beyond it? Is there anything else out there? One theory that once passed the Oort cloud is it's essentially in what's called interstellar space. This is where the gravitational influence of the sun starts to fade. So, does the Oort cloud only hold it because the gravity of the sun holds it there, or is there something else holding it there? Is the gravity of the sun that powerful? How strong is that gravitational force on our sun produces? Because as you get further away from the sun, we don't feel that pull when we're in spaceships and things like that, because we can easily travel to the moon. And gravity of the moon pulls us along because we're not getting pulled towards the sun. So how does this work? It's an interesting balance between the gravities. Forces. So we leave our sun's gravity force, but the forces of the galaxy itself start to dominate. The sun travels through the Milky Way in a region called the local bubble, a relatively empty region of interstellar space. So beyond the Oort cloud, you might find sparse gas, dust, almost like a cosmic no man's land. Think of a desert. There's nothing there. You're traveling on it, but there's nothing. You'll see stars, you'll see everything else, but you won't feel anything. And it's a desert island. You're in interstellar space. There's nothing there. So what is there? However, some scientists believe there could be still unknown objects out there, potentially rogue planets, or even remnants from other stars that might have drifted close to our solar system billions of years ago, having been caught in the Oort cloud. It's pretty wild thought that there are ancient artifacts of other stars lurking out there undetected. Think about archaeologists. It's a bit of strange, isn't it, me to say archaeologists when talking about stars and planets and everything like that. When they mine or they go in and they look for something, they think there should be something there. They dig down, they find a cave or a building or whatever, saying, oh yeah, there's some ruins here, let's investigate. They don't know what they're going to find in these buildings. They don't know what they're going to find down these holes or anything like that. And suddenly they find something they've never discovered before. Something that links the past to us that we've never seen. Could be a dinosaur, could be something else. And that's what we're doing. We're not digging down, we're digging up. We're looking upwards and saying, right, what's up there that we have, what we don't know? And the only way we're going to know is by going there. Just like archaeologists don't know what's there until they get there and they actually dig down and, we've discovered something new. We've discovered new gold coins. We've discovered new artifacts, new knives, or whatever it may be, a new tomb, a new Egyptian king, queen, new dinosaur. It could be anything. But unless we go and explore, we're not going to find anything. So it's really, really, really important that we do what our guys do. We're not digging down, we're digging up. And that's what you guys have to consider when you're thinking about astronomy and astrology, looking at astro careers, is we are doing what scientists do here. We're just going the other direction. We're also intrigued by the possibility of microbiological life surviving on icy or cloud objects. Now, some scientists believe, even speculate, that if life can survive in extreme conditions on Earth, and what that means is when we went to the South Pole and the North Pole, we dug through an ice sheet over 5 miles thick. So no light gets there. And underneath there, we had a look, and we put down the camera and we had a look down and went, oh, what's down here? What's down this little hole? And we had a look, and there was life. There's over, I think it's 2,000 different species of life they have discovered that have never seen sunlight. They have evolved in the dark, and they've never seen life. Never seen light from the sun. So how do they exist? Now you think if they can survive in water, underwater with no light at all, what can survive on icy rocks with no light at all? Maybe some of these objects out there, like icy moons and that, might survive with a thin atmosphere and be completely different. We could find a little Martian going, hello! And it'd be really weird and everything like that, but we don't know. And we're talking microbiological, so we're talking tiny little things, not big aliens or anything like that, not these little grey men you think about. We're talking tiny little organisms that might grow into fungus or something like that. Make it easy to understand. But we don't know until we actually go and explore that. And the only way we're going to explore is by looking. Okay? They exist in frozen states. And some of these icy bodies, of course, is pure speculation. But it's certainly an intriguing possibility that these things could be out there, might be out there. And the only way we're going to discover them is by looking. Obviously, we don't have the spacecraft yet to be able to get that far. The Voyager 1 and Voyager 2 are still on that journey. They've just reached the Kuiper Belt and on the way going through the Kuiper Belt. And even reached the Oort cloud yet. So to discover what's beyond the Oort cloud, we are a long way off discovering what's beyond there. And we're just starting that journey by travelling to new planets. Exploring the Oort cloud and beyond the Oort cloud is a massive challenge. Our spacecraft, like Voyager 1 and 2, are heading towards interstellar space, but won't reach Oort cloud for thousands of years. Now, who's to say with today's technology, remember, Voyagers were launched about 50 years ago. If we launch a new Voyager 1, new Voyager 2, maybe Voyager 3, maybe Voyager 4, and we launch them to space, they might travel faster and get there quicker. Maybe you can help design these things that can go faster and look at these things and keep better communication, because we do know we've lost communication with Voyager 1. A couple of times we've been able to fix it. We're not sure we're going to be able to fix it yet. Further missions could use advanced propulsion to reach these distances, but we're not there yet. Technology. Projects like solar sails, powered breakthrough Starshot give us some hope eventually exploring interstellar space. Now, solar sails are different to what you think about. What is essentially what you think it is, a solar sail. It's like a sail you see on a sailing boat. It catches the wind, flows along. A solar sail catches light, and it's powered by the protons and electrons and everything that's flown out from the sun. It catches it and it powers it through space. We're still working on technology to make it work really, really, really well and really, really, really fast. But these are future things we can and are developing. And maybe these are the key to future space travel. And maybe we might overtake Voyager 1 and Voyager 2 on their journey and get there first. You guys need to help us do this. You guys need to think, what is beyond these things? You want to help us do it. You have to start studying. Study's really, really hard. It's really important. Now that's our journey. For now, the Orcloud and beyond, it's a reminder of how much we have yet to learn. We have a lot to learn. I'm not going to hide it from you. I'm still learning. I'm learning about this. Every time I make a new podcast, I learn something new. And it's really, really important that you guys get inspired to learn too. These icy objects on the edge of our solar system hold stories of the dawn of time. And with every new discovery, we inch a bit closer to understanding the origins of our cosmic neighborhood. So we're going to keep going on, and we're going to keep moving forward. My next podcast will be on... Oh, look, we're going on to some of the different types of stars that are out there that may influence comets and things like that out there. But what we know about these stars so far, I really look forward to you joining us, and I really hope you enjoy this podcast. See you next week. Enjoy the adventures, and as we explore more into the unexplored territories of our cosmos. Thank you, and take care.